Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. Alright. So, we got some good stuff today. I was just gonna tell you guys that actually no, I'll tell you after I'm done with the recap. So I'll talk about Michigan football, Mac Jones, some of the MLB. A lot of football today, though. Alright. So, next week I'm probably not gonna do a podcast just because, I gotta get ready for, I gotta prep for school, basically, and, next week's the first week of school, so I really don't wanna have to juggle all this along with that, so, I'll see what I can do, the week after, though, and see if I can start fitting this into my schedule. But, alright. So today, I'm just going to start by talking about Michigan football, and The Athletic had an interesting article. It said, Jim Harbaugh has too much Gruden. He gets too much power. He succeeded his first 2 years, though. That's what's interesting. He succeeded his first 2 years. And, the interesting thing here is, when John Gruden, started with the Bucks. And when he started with the Bucks, he was successful. He was successful with the Bucks. And then he went to, once Gruden succeeded, my point is really, when he succeeded, he started to go down after that. He had the highest of success and then went back down. And that's because Gruden did not have as much power. He wasn't able to do whatever he wanted. I think the reason he succeeded, that's why. When he has someone to hold him back, he can win. He's not a bad coach, he's a bad GM. When he doesn't have people to stop him from doing, making dumb moves, he's not that good. But when he does, he can win Super Bowls. I think Jim Harbaugh is very much a little the same way, in the way that he succeeded the first couple years, then he got a little bit of power, and then what happens? It went downhill a bit. His record is currently 49 and... Hold on. No, that's not right. Let's look at Jim Harbaugh's coaching record real quick. So with Michigan, look at this, 10-3, 10-3. So that's 20-6. Then he went 8-5, which gives him a total record of 28-11. Then he went 10-3 again, so that's 38 and 14. 38-14. Then he went 9-4. So what are we at now? He is 38-14. 47-8. Yeah, no, he's 49-22 since he's been at Michigan. So that's pretty good. But his first, let's get rid of his first 2 years and see what his record is there. It's a little over 500, 29-16. So it's definitely went a little downhill. He's kind of regressing, kind of like an Ezekiel Elliott, dominated for a bit, then regressed. he does have a little Gruden in him. So I do agree with what The Athletic has said about this. Alright. So, Mac Jones, I've actually been high on him since preseason started. I did admit, I don't even say I didn't admit it. And where did I go wrong? I did admit Jones has been better than I expected. And Josh McDaniels said, he deserves credit for being prepared. And with the criticisms of Mac Jones that I had and other people have had too, it's been, where's the athleticism? And I'm now realizing it kind of contradicts what I said about Tua. Because a lot of people criticize Tua for being, unathletic, but I don't think that matters, But it mattered with Mac Jones. But that wasn't the only thing I was criticizing him on. I'm just skeptical of Alabama quarterbacks as a whole because they're just typically, sorry about that, unsuccessful in the playoffs. And not just in the playoffs, actually, my bad. They're unsuccessful in the NFL. Not since Joe Namath has there been a big name for Alabama in the NFL. When you look at people like I think the quarterback is a distribution. It's a lot like the point guard. I think Steph is an outlier with that. Point guards and quarterbacks are normally just distribution positions. You don't have to be hyper athletic. Steph is, an outlier. When you look at the point guards that have won championships, let's see them. Let's see this. So, Casey Jones has the most championships by a point guard with 8. But I guess you can argue he didn't really lead them to it. Magic has 5. He was not hyper athletic. Tony Parker has 4. And he won an MVP with that, too. So, when you look at the guys that won championships, Isaiah Thomas, these successful point guards, John Stockton, most of the successful point guards didn't have to win championships, just successful. I think in my top 5 point guards, there's maybe one athlete there. And that's Steph Curry. And I guess you could say Oscar Robertson was an athlete too. 2 of the 5 players were athletes, but 3 were not. Isaiah Thomas is in there. He wasn't an athlete. John Stockton wasn't an athlete. Magic wasn't an athlete. These guys weren't athletes. And CP3, he's successful. He hasn't won a ring, but he is one of the best point guards ever, especially statistically. The best point guards aren't super athletes. The quarterbacks in the past 5 years to make a Super Bowl are not athletes. Let's see this. 2016, Tom Brady and Matt Ryan. 2017, Nick Foles and Tom Brady. 2018, Tom Brady, Jared Goff. 2019, Mahomes is an outlier, and Garoppolo. 2020, Brady and Mahomes. Now, Mahomes is athletic. He can move better than these guys. So he's the outlier. But Brady, Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, those guys aren't athletes. And actually, if I want to make it like they're all similar to Mac Jones, they're all pocket passers, mainly. Mahomes has averaged, 16 yards rushing in his career, I believe. Mahomes he's a pocket passer. He can move, but he's a pocket passer. He doesn't average a lot of rushing yards. Let's see this. Yeah, barely any rushing yards. But, the best quarterbacks to make a Super Bowl are pocket passers. Pocket passers win Super Bowls. You don't have to be a hyper athlete. Mahomes, again, is an outlier. Aaron Rodgers might be the most athletic quarterback there is, but how many Super Bowls has he won? One. You don't have to be a super athlete to win Super Bowls. Alright, so, part of the reason I have the Packers, I think if the Packers were less noisy during the offseason, sorry about that, I'd be higher on them. I'd say they'd go 13-4 or something. But I think the noise in the offseason might throw them off for a bit. I got them going, 11-6. I think that's because they got a lot of go-either-way games, and, that's part of the reason, the reason I'm pushing it the other team's way is because the noise in the offseason might throw them off, in my opinion. And Pete Carroll said he was counting on Dwayne Brown, to be ready for the season opener. With the Seahawks, I just feel like it's so noisy there. It's hard for me to trust it. And I mean, they did. I think they resolved this Wilson situation, and by getting him a lineman. But I mean, the noise around the Seattle front office, I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't know how much I trust. I don't know how much I trust them to be successful this year. Alright, let's get some music going. Alright. Wait a second. Here we go. Alright. It should start in about 5 seconds. If it ever feels like loading. Here we go. Alright. So the Dodgers have finally made it up to... At least when I wrote this down on Thursday, they were first place. But let me check. Nope. They are now in the wild card again. But the Dodgers, they're coming. The Giants got cold all of a sudden. But my prediction right now, I think the Giants are going to be a lot like the Jazz this year. I don't think they're going to, make it to a World Series. I got the Brewers and Dodgers. Think about this. Look at the Brewers' pitching stats. 3rd in runs allowed. 2nd in hits allowed. 3rd in homers allowed. 2nd in strikeouts per 9. 3rd in ERA. 2nd in batting average. The great pitching beats great hitting in the playoffs. That's why you don't see 13-9 games in the playoffs, The great they got phenomenal pitching, and that's going to be huge for them. The Dodgers, they're 1st in runs allowed, 1st in hits allowed, 1st in batting average, 1st in ERA, 3rd in strikeouts per 9 innings, 5th in homers. The Dodgers pitching staff is insanely good. So I got Milwaukee and the Dodgers and the NLCS. ALCS is tricky. The Yankees are a tricky team. I don't know if they're good or not. Their pitching staff, they're 5th in runs allowed, 4th in hits allowed, 3rd in batting average, 4th in ERA, 4th in strikeouts per 9. So they're a pretty good pitching staff. It would be lovely if I could see them in the Rays play, but, the Rays pitching staff is not as good as the Yankees. 10th in strikeouts per 9, 7th for homers, 8th in batting average. It's not as good as the Yankees, but I think, honestly, the best thing that can happen, the most epic matchup would be